It's a very low barrier to get into the Gronk Squad.
That's crazy!
We've committed to do the Daily Talk Show for 10 years.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Put it in the calendar.
That one in.
I just like to check the temperature in the room.
I told you my squeegee story.
It is outrageous. Come on, let's go.
It's the Daily Talk Show episode 975.
That is right.
I'm back.
You're rusty, mate.
Yeah, a little bit rusty.
And it's written on the paper in front of you. You're rusty reading. Happy Chewy Tuesday, guys.
Oh, I forgot. Mate, you are good at this. Well done.
Kick us off.
Thank you to Redfern Convenience Store.
Oh, yeah. So we've got two versions of extra. Mm-hmm. We've got the Polar Ice. Mm-hmm. This is Wrigley's. And a sweet watermelon. Is there any other flavours? Is there anything other than sweet watermelon? Isn't watermelon just a sweet flavour?
Well, there's a whole song, Watermelon Sugar, which for some, I don't know why I was singing that. Watermelon Sugar.
Harry Styles.
Yeah, but why was I singing it so much on the weekend?
There's a funny meme about how he starts that song. It's called Watermelon Sugar, talking about strawberries.
That's annoying. I've actually been...
Which one do you want? Could
I go watermelon, please?
Okay,
watermelon sugar.
Yeah.
My hair's a little bit wet because I walked in.
Get your asthma going. So, I mean, that's a good effort because this morning it was very drizzly.
Not as rainy as what it has been. Like, remember that day where it was absolutely pouring?
Pouring down, yeah. I mean, I saw a hot air balloon on the way to work.
Oh, wouldn't bother.
Well, annoying that you pay $600 and it's raining. Yeah. You can't this is the problem. I once drove all the way to Nagambie, which is 2 hours from Melbourne, to go skydiving, and they called it off because it was drizzly.
Really?
And then
helicopters. I feel like we should ban helicopters. I heard about the French billionaire that died in a helicopter crash like 2 days ago or something.
How do rich people not get the memo that helicopters
dangerous,
high chance of it ruining everything?
They're the four-wheelers for billionaires.
No, three-wheelers. Three-wheelers are real dangerous compared to...
Didn't even know there was
Well, you turn... Yeah, they don't really sell it in trikes.
So this is the long-lasting flavour, sweet watermelon by Extra Wrigley's. Sorry about that. Weak throw by me.
Real smelly.
Yeah.
15 sticks, 15 opportunities to connect. And then it's got all this little cartoon of people sort of picking up. Dayton. You like it?
Yeah.
Artificially flavoured. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Thanks to Redfern Convenience Store. It's your classic. Mm-hmm. Classic watermelon. Out of 10?
I'm going to give that, it tastes familiar. So I'm going to knock some points off because there's not a huge amount of innovation in that. Don't you agree? I'm going to give it a 7. What are you?
That's still pretty high.
Yeah. What are you giving it?
No, I'll get 6.
Mm-hmm. It depends on how long it would actually last. I think that's a big thing.
Not your go-to. Not your just everyday chew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It can't. That's your 3 o'clock chew when you're feeling like a little something sweet.
Yes.
But you don't want to blow out and have a Mars bar, and you're just having that.
On the rain thing, raining in Melbourne, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
I've been reading a book called How to Read Water.
How do you read water?
I've got 2 interesting facts. Do you want to hear them?
Well, there's a lot of information in water.
Yes. Yeah, there is. And so...
water is our life blood.
Yeah.
We need water. We need it. Mm-hmm. If you say you hate water, take a look at yourself in the mirror. It's thanks to water.
Have you been watching... So I sent you a video about a ghost town. Have you watched that?
Yeah, a guy who bought a whole town.
For 1.4 million...
His whole life savings plus other people's life savings. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. What's amazing about California is you can go a few hours outside. So Los Angeles is in California, but you can drive like 2 hours and you're in the mountains and it's snowing and you're just in the heat.
Yeah.
You're just in 24 degrees.
It's like 3 hours from LA, 3 hours from Vegas.
Okay. So it's like deserty, mountain-esque, but snows.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. What's it called? What's his YouTube channel?
Sarah.
He says the name of the...
So many times. Cerro. Sarah Soda. No.
Yes.
Anyway.
Famous mining town. Yeah.
Brian Underwood I believe is his name.
Yeah.
And but anyway, they didn't have water, so they would access their water because it's a mining town. Apparently, 700 feet underground, there is water, so they have a pump that would pump the water up and give the water to the town.
Yeah.
But it was broken like 2004 or something. So they haven't for the last, actually it was like 14 years or 2006. The last 14 years, they haven't had running water. And so they just got it fixed. But it's been, this is...
Mate, imagine if that was how does it work? Is it the same water that's been down there? Is it just like chilling in some kind of natural reservoir?
Well, that's what I'll find out. But what I know so far about this book about water, like flooding, how things flood. If I was to like just rivers and stuff, they flood.
Yeah.
When does that happen?
Usually after a big downpour. Mm-hmm. It's either because I used to explore drain pipes a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
Always knew never to go before a storm. Like it could be storming and raining out in Oakley and there would be a high water in Gardenvale.
So I'm going to blow your mind around why that is.
Well, I think I know.
Why?
Because it's raining in one suburb and the storm water's pushing it through.
No. So this is crazy. So in the book, he says, Tristan, I think is the author's name. He says there is... how about if I said that flooding happens before the first drop of rain even hits the ground?
I'd say, show me your information. Because usually if there's flood waters are usually connected to rainfall in some area upstream. So the
reason is because you know how you have low pressure systems and high pressure systems? So low pressure systems mean that the water rises.
Okay.
And so a low pressure system, like we obviously connect up with rain, but the way that he says to remember it is blue sky is like pushing down on the water. So like a high pressure system will make the water go lower.
Yeah.
Isn't that fascinating? So when the low pressure system comes in, you're actually seeing flooding before any water because the water's rising. Because of the pressure in the atmosphere.
So it's legit pressure.
Yes.
It's funny because I never connected the pressure thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just, like you said, connected it to rain.
Yeah.
Or not raining.
Isn't that interesting?
That is,
Another
interesting
fact.
It's a good one.
Giraffes, the only mammal that can't swim.
Fuck, but they're so tall that the water that they'd go into, they're usually taller. Mm-hmm. Imagine seeing a giraffe in a swamp or something and it's just their head out.
Yeah.
And they're just still walking.
Just walking.
They'd be in trouble because if that thing fell over, they're real clumsy.
Yeah.
Giraffes are real clumsy and now they can't swim. That's a shame.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, I thought these are interesting things to know. Like I feel like learning more about weather and water. Like I haven't gotten, I'm only a chapter and a half into the book.
Yeah.
But I'm already excited about when I can read puddles. Because is
that part of this book?
Yes.
What for? What's there to read about a puddle?
Well, so just knowing. So he was explaining how water works in general, and so if you have a glass of water, and if you actually look at it, the water is not flat.
So it's beveled.
Yeah, so
it's like if it was a raindrop.
I always confuse concave. I think
that's would be yeah. So
concave because the water will actually attach itself to the glass at the top.
Yeah,
and so if you look at water, it will have a little concave shape, which I thought was interesting.
Are you going to be the guy that connects two bottles together and puts some sort of coloured liquid inside, as in water with some coloured dye and turns it upside down and it creates the whirlpool?
I could definitely get around that. But there's a bunch of interesting stuff around like water attracting water. And then there's varicose. Is it called? No, what is it called? No, it's not called varicose. I remembered it because I thought of it like veins.
Varicose veins?
No, it's not varicose veins though. Think about like, people say, like if someone's got like a bit of a red nose, not the pillaries, not that. Like I'm trying
vascular.
No.
Capillaries?
Capillaries.
Yeah. That's
a
one
word.
thing.
Yeah. So I think the... so I need to do more reading, but there's examples where he's talking about like water doesn't always... it can go against gravity. So like think about a tree. When water goes at the bottom, it like makes its way up. And so it's talking about the stickiness basically of water. So water will attract other water. If you tip some water on a kitchen bench, you'll see that it sort of blobs.
Yeah.
And then if you sort of connect them, it sort of like it sticks together. Yeah.
And this guy's made a living out of talking about this stuff?
Well, so yeah.
This is year 4.
But we didn't know
guys,
it.
pour some water on the thing. I'm going to do it right now.
But you didn't know it, did you?
I knew about the water touching together. It's interesting. I mean, that's just
do you know what it is? So I think there's
well, it's connecting up. It's so I've got a few little drops and now connected up.
So there's like hydrogen molecules and oxygen molecules. That's all I know. And so I think that
bringing it together,
which then like so that's what water's made of. Apparently, like I don't know. We need to get a scientist on the show. I don't
definitely
know any of this stuff.
I mean, it's a good flex if you then write a book with it.
Yeah.
To then, I don't know, the pressure thing's good. You got to look at how can you attach these things to every day.
Well,
so if you're walking in, you're looking up.
Yachting. Like he starts on a yacht and talking about like indigenous people use all of these different things. For, like, you know, they fucking taught, he was talking about the Pacific Islands and, you know, they actually like taught James Cook how to do shit, you know, just being like, oh, mate, like, why are you doing it that way? Like read the water. See, and like the best people, like from a yacht perspective, know how to read the water.
Just sniffing.
Yeah.
Smelling different. Looking at the sky. I mean, all those things like, remember Red Sky at Night, Shepherd's Delight?
Mm-hmm. What about this? Actually, that reminds me. Another great fact. Rainbows.
There's no cash at the bottom of them.
That.
I knew it.
There's gold. No, the more red in a rainbow, the thicker the raindrops. Oh, that's good.
The thicker the raindrops.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not even raining.
Is somewhere, I guess.
And you're seeing a rainbow.
And so can I just be clear with everyone? I'm not an expert on water. I won't even be when I read the book, but it is very interesting learning about this stuff and being able to apply it. So if I know, you know, like I went on a beach the other day, if I could read the waves and know where the water's going to land, that'll be handy.
What do you mean?
It won't wet my feet.
It's pretty just fucking watch it.
Yeah, no,
I guess
but there is actually like you could. He talks about mud and just how the wet mud is further away than where the water hits. So the water hits, but then it seeps through. So like really interesting. I mean,
stuff. I'm interested in quicksand. Always was as a kid. It was one of those things. Quicksand and rockfish that can kill you.
Don't know about.
I remember reading a book and it was just all about rockfish. Like Australia has some real fucked up animals, some real fucked up sea creatures.
Yeah, just
that will end your life. Look at Steve Irwin, poor bugger.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
Got done by a bloody stingray. The royal family, geez, Louise, there'd be in a bit of hot water. I was watching Meghan and Harry speak to Oprah last night. I was thinking, fucking Josh Janssen has a problem with social media. Look at these guys.
But they
can't go on social media. She hasn't. Meghan hadn't.
It's Meghan? Is it? It's not Meghan.
Meghan.
I don't actually know.
Meghan.
Meghan. So let's stick with one. It's annoying.
I'll call it Meghan.
Meghan. We'll go with Meghan.
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle. Let's call her Meg.
Yeah, you can't get Meg wrong.
Yeah, because you don't say Meg.
And they were saying Meg last night.
Yeah,
and she calls Harry H. So let's refer.
I thought she called him H.
Has?
No.
And H.
Yeah.
So let's call him H and Meg.
Yeah.
Best mates.
So what did you think?
How fucking wild. I mean, the media we know is trash. Daily Mail specifically, real trash, especially over in the United Kingdom. But they're in each other's pockets. Like they're having soirees at the fucking castle and they're inviting the media to then put it on for them. And so it's like this handshake going on between them about what's going on. But I mean, it seems pretty toxic. Like it seems just in relation to just not talking about how you feel or being inside a system that you can't break out of. Like that's what was talking about, not being able to, he's broken out of it and his brother's trapped in it.
Yeah.
And he's referring to the trapping being just that world. It's interesting. It's like seeing a guy who has seen the light or just realizes, it's almost like someone coming out of the Jehovah's Witness or, you know, some Muslim sort of tight-knit family. Like I've been listening to a woman who, Ayan Hirsi Ali, she, you know, arranged marriage when she was young, left it, escaped, became a refugee in a country, and just like her being blown away that there was this other world out there. And Harry is that version where he's like, you know, he's just this guy who's converted to, oh my God, there's another life.
Yeah.
Like I can now ride a bike with my kid.
Have chickens.
I couldn't do that shit. Maybe chickens he had. But
do you think he did?
He might. I mean, they had a lot of land. It was more. It's more about what they could do off the property versus on the property.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was interesting how he would speak about the Queen, his grandma.
I love grandma.
Yeah, but he's like, yeah, love grandma. Like, get along with like. What's confusing, but isn't grandma like in charge of it all? Isn't it like saying, I hate this company, but like you absolutely love the CEO?
Yeah.
It's a little bit like, I thought that was a little bit confusing.
It seems like he's got an understanding that there is a way that it almost has had to be over the last hundreds of years. Yeah. Like it's full on. I mean, that kid has had, it's so sad. Like, fuck. What a messed up family. Like if there'd be, I wonder if there was a lot of moments where it's like, oh fuck, I thought I had a bit of problems.
Yeah. But I think Oprah did a good job. She gave a lot of pushback, don't you think? Like I think that I had forgotten, like I can't remember, like she interviewed Lance Armstrong, Tiger Woods, like a bunch of these sort of.
She gets the exclusive.
Yes. Which she said to start with, like there's no deal, not paying anything. But then you hear in the media $9 million.
But I don't trust the media.
Yeah. Yeah. Surely there's
you then have to say they are lying to the camera when they say we are not being paid for this.
Or
they don't need to be paid for it.
They don't. But I'm sure the thing is that it's like you're building partnerships with people, right? So it's like you might not be getting paid directly, but obviously there might be a Harpo production or, you know, all of these other things that are connected that you end up seeing the financial reward. It's like all the politicians where it's like, hang on, how does Joe Biden, who's been a career politician, live in a multi-million-dollar home, you know, in a mansion?
I mean, it's like Seth Godin coming on our show. He doesn't get paid, but he gets to, you know, give his book a bit of a plug.
Yeah.
Because they were plugging their production company, Archwell. They were plugging Oprah did a cheeky plug of a new series that she's doing with Harry on mental health, through Apple. But it's a crazy moment because the world is watching. I just felt like I was like, oh, this is just like a glimpse inside the royal family. Yeah. Like listening. Imagine if you were just doing a tell-all right now. It's like, mate, out in Narry Warren, it was hard. Like I wasn't allowed to do this. Like mum cut me off. He got cut off. Yeah. The security thing's fucked. He was cut off from his whole. So that's the weird bit. Like your family, they're still family. Harry is still related. That's never changing. And then they're going to cut off his personal security, meaning all the death threats that he's already getting. It's like they're forgetting about those.
What do you think security looks like? That's what I was wondering.
Oh, dude, Navy SEALs, ex-Navy SEALs, like that Joe Rogan shit. He's got Navy SEALs, like ex-Navy SEALs that are hard as nails. Like
and they just sort of like
a team of them.
And they hang around everywhere.
It's pretty regular to have security if you're over in the States. Like that guy, Tyler Perry, who they borrowed his house for 3 months. He gave them his security detail. He's worth $1 billion, so I'm sure he's just got security all the time. But imagine what it would cost to have security.
Yeah.
We should find out. What
the cost would be.
I mean, I need security fucking with the shit going on in my neighbourhood. Jeez.
Do you want to talk about it?
Nah. It's in the media. Anyway, it's a wild time I just imagine the tabloids over in the UK at the moment. Imagine, I just think about, you've been to London. It's very like, they love it. It's all Like it seems like it's.
I mean, it feels like tabloid media was born there. Like it's got that
on the what's it called? Not the subway. It's on the tube.
Mm-hmm.
Like seeing the paper. Like it was a real experience being over there, just seeing the like what a place with someone like having something like the Royals and how they see it. Like
it's all confused. I find the royal thing just confusing as a general concept.
Well, they're
like
not. I don't think they're the government, are they? We need a royal expert because it's so interesting. Because what decisions do they get to? Like the Queen's signing off on shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the interest. Like
I'm more interested in the royals than water, even though water helps me live.
No, I just feel that the royal thing to me feels like an entertainment reporter that's found a niche. You know, like
there would be someone.
You see them all the time. It's like they'll come on and they're talking specifically about the royals.
Yeah.
In some regards, they're part of the whole system, though. It's like if you want the scoop on a brand and then saying, hey, can we get I guess it's not like that. I was going to say it's like getting the head of marketing in to talk about it. But I think there is like Meg talked about the symbiotic relationship between the media and the royals and all of that sort of shit. And so
that's the parties.
Yes. It's
dude.
But it's a little bit weird. Just even the I mean I think it was just weird.
I mean, I'm not that surprised about all the things that were said. It doesn't seem like it's that far-fetched for claims of racism coming from, you know, the royals or like inside the family of like someone asking, you know, saying stupid shit or like it's a family. They're humans and they're all flawed. Yeah. That's the thing. You see the Queen on your coins.
It was funny seeing when Oprah asked Meg, who was it, who said it.
Oh, yeah.
But then when she brings out Harry, I was like, it feels like there's the whole thing where Meg needs to be like, I didn't say who it was. Because it was heading in the direction of Oprah being like, so tell like who was it?
So what they're referring to is, if you haven't watched the interview.
It was Kate.
Someone asked, what's the skin colour going to be of the kids that Harry will have with Meg? They've since come out and said it wasn't the Queen.
Okay.
And it wasn't the Queen's partner. Was it? Or Harry's dad. So he's come out and said, I'm not saying who it is, but it definitely wasn't the Queen. Definitely wasn't.
Okay, yeah. They fucking love the Queen. Them loving the Queen makes me want to love the Queen.
I kind of love the Queen. Sharing a little snuggie with Meg. Like they were at an event and they were sharing the blankie together.
Yes.
Like, you know, your mum's been on a boat cruise with Brie. Like that's royal shit right there. Like that's families coming together,
sharing
to go sailing.
Cocktails. It's but I feel like in some regards it creates a relevancy. Like because I couldn't give a fuck about all this stuff, but we watched it
a relevancy
to the royal stuff.
Well, it's a time. That's what I was like. This is a piece of history.
Yes.
Like Harry's kids are going to grow up and be like, that time mum and dad did a sit down interview, did an expose on the royal family.
Feels like there's a lot of that history stuff happening at the moment, doesn't it? It's like we're going to look back and we're going to be like, wow, that was weird.
Because most of the things that most of our experiences go. Think about it. I was hearing someone talk about this recently about like the moments. You've had some really great moments in your life, a good meal, a good experience, and the memory is completely gone from your skull. And so there's only certain ones that are in
sticks.
there. That's a bizarre thing. Like what sticks? Yeah. Sometimes bad ones stick for people,
trauma,
and that's it.
Why Brie and I started watching the Woody Allen doco.
I don't know.
So he's sort of, it's very fucked up.
Sex pest.
Pedophile. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. It's, I mean, you're speaking on the spectrum of the worst of the.
Oh, yeah.
But the, that was full on because they sort of tell the story. I wouldn't, I mean, it's a privileged position to say don't watch it, but like it's a, consuming it, you wonder, so I guess you gain some empathy for people who have gone through this, trauma or whatever, but you don't walk away feeling good. It's a 4-part series. We watched 2 parts, and Brie and I don't think we'll watch the rest because it's just, it sort of paints the picture to start with of happy family stuff. He ends up, so Woody Allen married. It's actually, they're married, been with his, what would you call, adopted daughter for 20 years, 20 plus years or whatever, 30 years.
Is he? Where is he now?
He released a book and stuff, and so he's come out and said no.
He made
to
the
all
documentary.
He came out and said no to all the claims, but then, I had a moment last week where I was thinking, cancel stuff, like the ability to cancel people is just so toxic, and it's so I'm fucking out. Like people canceling other people, I can't be fucked. But then I guess you got in that watching the documentary, you say, okay, well, there's clearly really toxic people, nasty people, people, or not even nasty, or just completely flawed people. Is that our garbage?
Yeah. Taking Jess's fishy fucking.
What's she been eating?
Don't know. It stinks though.
the raw chicken. It gives an interesting perspective.
What do you mean the nasty people though?
Well, no. So the thing is, so Woody Allen, it's. You watch that and say, no, you actually are cancelled. I can't watch a Woody Allen film. Not that I'm a bit of a doofus when it comes to watching stuff anyway. So I haven't actually seen his films, which I probably should have as someone who does, video production stuff. But you walk away being just there has been, it's been a bit tainted.
Oh man.
I think that you give it a watch and then tell me what you think.
No, I watched the what's it called? The Jeffrey Epstein diaries or whatever it was. And
it's all just sad. I think that the thing is, it's okay, it's really sad. It's an I think that the hard bit is they talk about it at the start it's this amazing life that they're all living, and then it's obviously the darkness in that, which I think then sort of creates this feeling of even good shit's bad. It's just a bit negative.
Well, it's at the point that it is a documentary, there's an entertainment value in these things. Entertainment sounds weird to use when you're referring to something, an incident or a pedophile, but they are made to be entertaining or to capture your focus. And so all those, it's full on. I get around, which is weird to say, cult films more, not cult films, but as in films about cults. And I'm more interested in that from a human perspective of understanding these people and how they're drawn into these cults. But then it's you're talking about real life. Yeah. And that's where you can be just sitting at home, just watching and so removed from the reality. Yeah. And then you watch and you get the feeling, but then you go down to Macca's after. And you're pretty happy once you get that, that hit of that Sunday in you. Yeah. Little McFlurry. I did
watch a sort of positive doco though, the Winnebago Man. Have you heard about this?
Winnebago, a caravan. That's a brand of caravans.
RVs.
RVs.
Yeah. And so in the mid to late 80s, there was a corporate video, they called it an industrial video about Winnebagos. And there was a guy who was a presenter who was presenting all of the material, and he was so full on, just swearing and just sort of run amok on set, that the filmmakers or the crew that was making the video was recording between the scenes and put together not a hit piece, but it was like a montage of 5 minutes of this guy going, fuck, what's my line? And all of this sort of stuff. And this is obviously well and truly sort of pre-YouTube and stuff. And so people would make copies of it. So it got to Winnebago and the guy got fired. No more video. He was to present no more videos. And the video started to get copied a bunch. So it's like the classic VHS, you put in a tape and then you put in another one and you dub it.
Oh, yeah.
And the quality would get worse and worse as you would sort of like, dub it more and more times. And this is like viral videos before viral videos. Yeah. And a guy who is a filmmaker that loved watching it. It sort of came to YouTube and became big on YouTube, like 05, 06. And this guy makes a documentary trying to find the Winnebago Man because he's sort of completely gone off the radar. They get a private investigator. The guy's only got PO boxes and stuff.
Oh, really?
And they find him in the mountains and he's a hermit.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, that could be your life.
Yeah. Bree and I were saying, like, so the
PO box in the mountains, hermit.
It's got all
done on set screaming.
Yeah. He said, and his friend who's talking about this guy Jack. It's sad because he ends up going blind, and they end up taking him to San Francisco for a screening of the video in a cinema thing, but. His mate was talking about the complexities of Jack because in one way he wanted an audience and to be seen and to be doing stuff, but then also wanted to be a complete hermit, which I can very much relate to.
Yeah. You want your cake and you want it. What is it? What's the saying?
You want your cake and eat it to eat it too, which doesn't seem like too much to ask.
I know. I just want a piece of cake and I fucking leave me alone. Eat it. I ordered the cake. Yeah. I paid $8 and I'm going to fucking eat it.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense really when you look at it because it's like, why else are you getting the cake?
Because you want to eat it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you watched any docos or anything?
No. Got no time.
What have you been
doing?
Hang on.
Mate, I was at the gym on Saturday squatting.
Shit yourself.
Completely tore the ass out of my shorts.
Oh, better than tearing your ass out.
Better than tearing my ass off. But I tore from the top.
Was it your purple
of my shorts? No, these are. I don't have those anymore.
What happened to them?
The dark purple ones. I had light purple.
The light purple.
Gone. They're gone. So from the top of my, like the hip all the way down to my leg. Luckily, I had black Bonds undies on, and I tore it on the first set of.
Did you laugh?
Yeah, because but it scared me because it was like it popped as well because it was like the seam and then just like.
Did you think it
popped and teared? No, I've torn them before, but it's annoying. Because if you don't have the right underwear on or if you're wearing a G-string, you're in trouble, dude. And so I was wearing black and there was one guy behind me in the whole gym. It was just me and him. And I said, dude, tore my pants. And he's like, nah, it's all right. I was like, yeah. He's like, push on. I was like, yeah. So I stayed there just squatting with basically my undies. It was the weirdest feeling. So weird. But I pushed through.
Have you bought new ones?
Nah.
It's a long weekend. What did you? I saw you sent me a video of Bodhi using the remote control car on the water.
Mate, it was just one of my favourite things to do is to walk through the Fitzroy Gardens.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's where Captain Cook's cottage is. That's been cancelled.
Yes.
It says closed on the front of it.
Oh, really?
They're meaning cancelled.
It's cancelled.
There was a security guard there for Australia Day because they're like the people, the progressives are going to come and fucking bash it in. Anyway, little fun fact on that cottage, I always thought that like that was built there and Captain Cook lived in that there. No. They brought the whole thing over from England and that was his parents' house.
Oh, interesting.
And he may have stayed at his parents' house. That's what they allude to.
They also have the little
reconstructed it.
The tiny village.
Tiny village, but it's just the trees. I don't give a shit about their cottage or any of that. It's just like something on the fringe of like a CBD. So it's like the concrete jungle meeting this beautiful, grassy, tree-lined park. It's fucking magic. And so we just walk through that and Bodhi scooters. It's just beautiful. It's something worth doing if you're in Melbourne. Just walk through the Fitzroy Gardens.
It is probably my favourite park in Melbourne.
It's so good. Other than the botanical gardens. But then it's like that's
even I feel like Fitzroy Gardens sort of
East Melbourne.
Yeah, it's more It's easier to get to.
Dude.
It's more accessible, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah, I know
used
what
to
you mean.
walk there when I would walk into the city,
Yeah.
I would go through the Fitzroy Gardens every day.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a lot of that. Had a beautiful fire Saturday night. My new thing, fires in the backyard with pizzas.
Eating pizza or cooking pizza?
Cooking the pizza.
Oh, that's cool.
I've done one with ordering pizza. This one was cooking pizza.
Mm-hmm. How'd you do it?
Oh, just in the oven, but it's
Oh,
real
so you
good.
don't use the fire?
Nah, it's too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Too hard. But so it was, nice weekend.
Beautiful.
Nice weekend.
Yeah. Right. Well, it's the Daily Talk Show. Hi at thedailytalkshow.com. I'm wanting documentary recommendations.
Positive ones or
Just in general, just a good docos. Obviously, to your point, crime, murders, pedophilia, all of that sort of stuff. It's not the best way of unwinding.
specific, because then it might connect with someone listening. What's the genre of documentary you want to listen to?
Things that play into nostalgia. So there's a documentary, I think it's called American Filmmaker, a guy who it's a documentary about him trying to make an indie film, and he's completely crazy. That's great. So maybe I like ones that I can relate to.
Yeah, that's sounding
just
like
nuts. People that are a bit nuts.
Yeah.
That like that.
That's why you like Bikram so much.
I actually liked Bikram.
It was a fucking good.
Yeah.
That was a good doco, even though it was culty.
Yeah.
It was still like
and sexual assaulty.
You know, there's someone who's still smiling. It's Mr. Bikram.
Yeah.
He's a fucking strange unit there.
Yeah. What's he up to?
I don't know. Jail.
Yeah. Is he?
That's a weird thing about a lot of these people. It's like, how do they not end up in jail?
Mm-hmm.
Jail is living in a world where you've been cancelled. Some people rightfully so. And what do you do?
Yeah. I ended up on an article describing Ivan Milat's dead body. Genitalia.
You had a dark weekend, dude.
Underwhelming. They said genitalia underwhelming.
Hey, my genitalia will be underwhelming
when dead.
When I've shat myself because I'm dead.
Well, I mean, you don't need to
back inside
you
itself.
don't need to defend Ivan Milat. He's a bit of a piece of work.
Fuck.
But yeah, it's interesting. I guess that's like what I thought was like, oh, this is an interesting part of society where it's like, let's we need to dehumanize or like let's on the way out, we need to make sure that they're cast in a real, like, just like trolling. I thought it was interesting. Like, I'm
Pindick Ivan Milat.
Yeah, it had that vibe. And I was like, oh, it's interesting. Like, this guy is fucked up. Like all of this stuff. But I thought it was interesting, the psychology of like, clearly that was like, we're going to write an article going through like describing someone's dead body. I thought it was just an interesting piece. Like it was almost something a bit medieval about it. Like putting someone up in the street so everyone can look at them. Yeah, but so I wonder, like my question, like I wonder is like, who's it for? What's it for? Like what, like, so maybe
it was for Josh Janssen to bring content to the Daily Talk Show.
Or like maybe it's the families of the victims. Like is
this is a journalist writing these. That's why it's like, think about all the hit pieces on people that haven't done anything.
Yeah.
It's like this, who's that for? It's for clicks. I want to read an article about how Ivan Milat was a pindick. Because you get a bit angry and you're like, that's fucking great. He was a real skinner.
Yeah. Alrighty. It's a Daily Talk Show. Enjoy your day, guys.
See you guys.